Real Talk Corner.
Real Entertainment Network.
Iron Reese. The talk is still real. We still on the corner. We gonna touch on some topics.
SKN. We got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, it's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. Yeah.
Iron Reese.
Dynamic
The
duo.
talk is still real. We still on the corner.
Real Talk
We
Corner.
gonna touch on some topics.
It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. Yeah.
Check it out. You know, in tune.
My daddy made this beat.
Yo, check it out. You know, in tune to the dynamic.
Ooh, bye. Let me make sure my mic on. Check.
Yeah, man, you on.
Yeah, we're good.
Everything heavy, you know what I want with you.
We're there, dealing with these pollen flares, you know?
Bye. I know you mean, I know you feel it.
Yeah,
Rough.
pollen flares. Pollen flares, I'm busy. busy work week, bro. It's like serious busy work week. My family good. Yeah. Nah, complain. What about you?
I go there, I can't complain really and truly, you know what I mean? Another beautiful week. Like you said, the pollen situation is a real vibe, but outside of that, everything else heavy.
Yeah. To me, it's been super bad this year, you know. I've never seen it this bad. Chevelle says she's seen it this bad before. She remembered it being this bad, but to me, it was like really heavy this year.
Well, you know what I mean? The real issue me have too is the fact that me care the turn color now. You know, every morning I see me care yellow. And me got a black hair. You know?
Yeah. It gets shot more on the black cat than it would show up on the white one, to be
The
honest.
thick layer of pollen is really messing with me, but it's what it is. And I mean, we go through yearly, so we just take it and keep moving.
So we got you this before?
Yeah, it's an annual thing, you know.
But this bad, to me, be heavy this year. To be real
No,
heavy.
to me, it's the same thing every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing every year.
Yeah, no, I see pollen staying up the ground and thing. You can't see the road. All kind of different things. So I just never take notice.
I think one of the other issues is too we don't really have no kind of rain. You know, we don't have no kind of
That
rain at all.
true. Rain not fall. Rain not fall at
So
all.
that one of the problems that we're running into.
Yeah. Rain not fall. That's a good point. Well, I want those who have joined the live, just click the share button. You see that little button underneath? You got like a little arrow, and then a S, a H, a R, and a E. If you click that, then shares the show onto your page, and we would really appreciate that. If we could get some shares, so if we could see some likes and some laugh, whatever the case may be, or some vex face, whatever the case may be, but some reaction and so. And because we're gonna talk about some things tonight. Some people might get in their feelings and so too. That though.
You feel so people are getting their feelings?
But I feel like this is a topic that people are getting their feelings about. Yeah. But Reese,
I feel so.
Yeah, we can see. Reese, what's
Mm.
happened? We need to talk about what happened so far. Though. We had the first ever Inter High being held in Nevis.
Mm.
I don't know if it was a success or not. You know.
No, it was a success. I feel it was a success.
Well,
The fact that the meet ran in its entirety,
yeah.
like everything else, you're gonna have hiccups along the way. But the fact that the meet ran in its entirety, it's a success. What are we going to compare it to? There's nothing to compare it to in Nevis. So the fact that is the first time it has been done, then we just got to take it for what it is. No, if the second one, if they do it another time and the second is not as good as the first one, then we say it's a failure. But at this point, got to rate it as a success.
We got a big up Jeffers on all the way from the UK. You don't know. Every time. And yeah, gotta be a success. I mean, there was some hiccups. There was some unfortunate events. There was a fight, some kind of brawl, video circulating in social media. It was unfortunate, but it's sports, eh? And there's a reason why fans don't get separated when you got sporting events, because sports is a
Definitely.
high emotional thing. So I am not going in
Well,
camp B. Go
well,
start
it's not
trouble.
only just a sports, eh? It's not only that it's sports, but it's a lifelong thing that people don't realize, eh? Because you're talking about people supporting the alma maters, and then you also may have individuals who got the children involved.
Yeah,
So your heart really tied to it.
yeah,
It's not like you just say so you're supporting the West Indies cricket team and say, oh, okay, I used to back West Indies all the time. No, it's different when you're tied into the West Indies on an emotional level when you're playing for the West Indies and stuff like that. So I
yeah,
mean, that's just how you view it.
yeah. Yeah, it kind of we could kind of roll in upon the discussion that we're having tonight about free movement of people, right? Because we kind of saw where there was some bickering in the social media sphere about the event just being held in Nevis. So that's kind of a little thing. Um, Outside of that, Vibes Cartel had his appeal heard, and the results came in.
No, he didn't have his appeal heard. Don't say that. He went to the Privy Council and the Privy Council quashed his case with his appeal, which has been heard already was turned down, and then it
Mm,
went to the Privy Council.
Oh,
Don't
it's still
don't
an
don't don't.
appeal. He was still an
No,
appeal when he
no, no,
got
it's not an
when he
appeal.
got to. He was still an appellant when he went to the Privy
No.
Council. They were calling him an appellant. He was an appellant. That's why the order was we will allow the appeal. That's what the Privy Council said. He just appealed to the highest court, you know, of Jamaica, which is the Privy Council. Right? It talks about people talking about massa and all kind of thing, people upset. But I think some things were exposed in that judgment. I don't know if you got to hear the DPP speak for the first time since the matter. Did you hear that? You heard
I
the
listened to the
DPP?
DPP. I listened to the DPP speak. I listened to part of the wedding.
Oh my gosh. The
And
DPP
she
said,
spoke. And
what was your thoughts on what
and
she said?
I can tell you the ultimate thought that I came up with.
Well,
She is not giving up. She going back for a retrial.
I mean, I heard that, but I also heard
That
that
is it.
no man, we deal with this. We done do this couple times. Well, you know what I mean. There's been cases when we do this before. Don't worry, it's not the first time. So which is unfortunate.
But
Basically, it
I
was
would
a violation of human rights.
what I would say is don't be surprised if legislation is put in anytime soon
Yeah,
to prevent this from ever happening again. Where you cannot
Y-
go to the Privy Council on this grounds.
you can't do that.
Okay.
You gotta be crazy because the grounds that they
Oh, okay.
went. Yeah. The reason why I can put it that way there is because you gotta understand what the grounds. The grounds. It was a constitutional infringement. So how are you going to put legislation in place unless you're going to change the constitution?
Let me
The
tell you
grounds that they
something,
went
right?
on was a constitution infringement. It was a human right decision, you know. Not a tech. A lot of people calling it a technicality, you know. It wasn't a technicality. It was a human right error, you know. The fact that he wasn't afforded a fair jury, that was the grounds of the appeal. Mostly, of course, he also spoke about the tampering of the evidence, but I think the case came in actually based on the human right aspect of it, and that was a constitutional violation. So how are you going to put something in place to stop people from appealing because of that?
You agree that when there's a constitution that there are amendments within constitutions, right?
The man amend nothing.
You don't want to see it amended. Don't say they're not going to amend it.
So they already made changes to the jury thing. I forgot what I call it, but in
Yeah.
Vybz Kartel time, it was required that they have 11 jurors. So when he had his case, he needed 11 jurors, and that's why it would have been hard for them to dismiss that one juror, right, and allowed it, because if they had dismissed that one juror because they only had 11, that would have mean they had 10. That's why, you know, they allow that juror to sit. Now you only need 7. They already fixed that part. You know, they could go down to 7 jurors. So if they go in there with 11 jurors, they could go down to 7. But the other problem was with the jury, right? The jury was contaminated. So either way, they probably would have had to go for a mistrial. They really needed to call a mistrial. Unfortunate, because the case had gone so long, you know, but they really needed to go in a mistrial. That's what they needed to do. And for me, I think they would think twice about if a case now, right? Because you gotta remember, precedence is something that happens in the law. So if a case now comes to this, where there's some juror tampering of some sort, they're probably going to dismiss that case and go for the mistrial and start over again, because what's going to happen is you got an easy appeal, because you're going to use the judgment of the Sean Campbell versus the Jamaican XXX in the Privy Council to say this is what that outcome was. It is groundbreaking. It's gonna
And
be.
that is why the laws will be changed to make sure that that cannot be used.
I will see.
And the statement that will be made when that is brought up is, well, that decision was made prior to this legislation being passed. We don't deal with old legislation, we deal with now.
Well, I gotta see that. Because you're telling me that I don't know what they would do, what legislation they would pass. You know, I don't know if they would go based on like England. You know, what England has done to put England, because they mentioned it in the Privy Council as well. If this was the case, they would have continued the trial without a jury. So it kind of gave defendants something to think about. Do I really want to mess with a jury? I'm not saying that the defendants were the one that messed with the jury, right? Do I really want to mess with the jury? Because I ultimately I feel like that's why the Privy Council sent the decision back to the Jamaican Appellate Court. And that's just my feeling, right? I speculating, I ain't a professional. I felt like they sent it back because of the possibility that this was orchestrated, and they would be given those that orchestrated it a result that they really wanted. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the defendants orchestrated it. I don't know. right? It's not fair for me to even speculate, but I know a lot of people are like, well, how can they not been just squash it? How can they not been just squash it? You know? And in the judgment, they did mention they have to be careful about people now looking at this and saying, well, I got to do a bribe a jury, and then I'm going to be able to orchestrate my own acquittal. So I felt like that's why they sent it back to Jamaica to make that decision. Do you want to acquit these men? Do you think that they're still able to get a fair trial after all these years? Or are you going to, so are you going to quit them, or are you going to retry them? What's your opinion on that, Reese?
No, I agree with them. I agree with them sending it back to Jamaica.
Yeah,
To let Jamaica make the final decision. I think the fact that it's being sent back to the same court that has already denied him in the first place, that is the kind
yeah,
of tricky part to me.
yeah,
Because if me don't tell you no before,
yeah.
if they don't say no before, now they go and say yes, then you're gonna also put that court into limbo with the viewing public, right?
So,
You're gonna be looking at it as I don't show why I do. Because it's not like it's new evidence. The case done cold, right? So
yeah,
everything that is presented is what was presented to you initially as well.
yeah.
So now we look at it as well. Why they change the heart,
Well,
right? That's the other
I
thing.
think,
No.
I think when it comes back to the court now, it's gonna come back to the court from a different perspective, right? Because it's
Well,
like,
the only different perspective that the white man say. The white man sent it back. That's the only different
yeah,
perspective.
but that is not what their judgment is gonna be based on. Their
What
judgment
is
is
the
going to be
judgment based
based.
on?
The judgment of the appellate court should be based on, can justice be served? Because
Hold on.
uh,
Pause. No, that's the problem. Can justice be served? Well, if they
yeah,
feel that justice could have been served, when they initially went to the appeal court could have said, "Yo, we're gonna retry the case."
yeah,
Initially, they had that choice.
yeah.
So when you feel that way initially, anything apart from what you said initially is going to leave the viewing public as that I don't show what I got going on. If you change your answer now, it's a problem. Because the only difference is the white man say ABCD.
The decision that the appeals court of Jamaica did is not a decision that they have the option to do now. Their decision that they made the last time was to deny the appeal and say no. Now they have to choose, right? Are we going to retry these men or say, well, they don't spend their time in jail? And they have to look at the fact. I mean, this is what a court is for, right? The prosecution doesn't. So okay, I know people have the tendency to try to win, but the prosecution job is not to win. The prosecution job is to make sure justice is served. That is what it's supposed to be in a right world. So the prosecution isn't really supposed to be going off if it's winning. And the court is supposed to uphold justice. And the court is not made to punish. The court.
Wait, why is that the prosecution shouldn't be going for a win?
No, the job of a prosecutor is to make sure justice is served. Not just like if justice is served by winning. Okay, for instance, Reese, let me put this way to you. If the prosecutor have Reese on trial, and the prosecutor wholeheartedly feel Reese committed that crime, and later on the prosecutor found out, boy, Reese really ain't commit that crime. The prosecutor job is now to go in and say, Reese didn't commit the crime. I am going to take the loss at this case because justice needs to be served and this man needs to be acquitted of these charges. But if his job, her job was to win, then regardless to what they find out, they can still try to put you in jail. And that is why you have misconduct of prosecution.
Hold on. You understand that lawyers, right? Defense lawyers, prosecutors, whatever it is.
Defense lawyers are different.
No.
Defense lawyers are different.
They go based on, no. I listen to me before I speak. Listen to me. Don't come before it's everybody go based on numbers, right? The value that you have as an attorney is based on numbers, right? A
Yeah.
defense attorney is the number of people that you win the cases. Well, a prosecutor is the same thing. The number of cases that you have won. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Kamala Harris is the vice president because of her numbers in California for nothing else other than the fact that she had a 90-something% conviction rating. That is what
Reese,
propelled her to where she is right now. Big man,
Reese,
numbers is everything.
you
You can't tell
you
me I'm a
what
prosecutor that I don't care about the numbers. That's my legacy.
I am saying to you, right? In a right world, because I think you missed the part when I said in a right world,
We don't
the
live in a right world.
prosecution
I talk
the
about what we live in.
prosecution job is to make sure justice is served.
Yes, Aaron,
I
but
am
we do
not
not live in a
saying
right world.
I am not telling I'm not disagreeing with you that there are prosecutors out there who just care about the numbers. And like I said, if Reese goes in front of a prosecutor and the prosecutor found that Reese is actually not guilty of the crime, and I will go to say innocent, right? Would still convict Reese because I need to uphold my conviction rate. A prosecutor might. This is why you have prosecution, um, like misconduct and stuff, because they do things that they're not supposed to do because they're caught up in the wrong aspect of it, right? If you have a good-hearted prosecutor, they would want to ensure justice is being served, because it's not just about their numbers, it's about the family who want to know the person that committed the crime, whatever the case may be, the person who was violated is actually the person. Because how would you feel if you found out, the prosecutor found that X was actually the person, right, who committed the crime, but they have Y on trial and they want to keep their numbers good and they let X go free while they convict Y, and the person that committed the crime against you is now free. That's all I'm saying. But that's for a different discussion, right? Because today, even though Vybz Kartel and companies are not free, we want to talk about free movement of people, because it's a big topic right now. And a lot of people have strong opinions about it.
Yeah, we got to cut this one short. But I mean, Reese is correct. The numbers come. Thank you, Marlene. We understand. We live in the same world. I live in a perfect world. We don't.
Well, I understand the
Freedom of
numbers
movement.
count.
Freedom of
I
movement. Freedom of
understand the
movement.
numbers count.
Every
All
time
I'm
we're going left
saying
and
is
right.
that that's not the job of the prosecutor. And
Okay.
one more thing is, remember, the court is going to have to look at will these men be able to be afforded a fair trial. That's one thing they're going to have to look at. And I suspect the defense is going to argue they're not going to be able to have a fair trial. I don't know what the prosecutor are going to argue.
It's impossible to have a fair trial. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again. When it comes to crime, we care about popularity more than the crime. So Cartel being a big artist, as everybody's saying, free Cartel. Whereas if it's a regular man now kill a regular person, we say, hey, that person should go to jail. So it's never going to be a fair trial. Everybody's saying free Cartel, but nobody's saying condolences to the youth that would have passed away.
That's
Right?
not true. There's a lot of people who are on Cartel go jail. You know what? You know what, Serpy?
We screaming what we want to scream, check. So that's what it is. And I mean,
You don't watch Politic Watch?
Popularity contest.
Yeah, you don't watch Politic.
Remember, even when Buju, people said, Buju, free Buju, but Buju take put a whole spoon of cocaine in the mouth.
But
you could tell them Buju first time, but you know what I mean?
Everybody got haters. Everybody got haters. I mean, you watch Politics Watch or whatever you call, and you could look at his many followers and him. He call him a world sprat, and he don't want to see Vybz Kartel free. So you can't say nobody else say lock up Vybz Kartel. At the end of the day, we should all want to just see justice be served.
Marlene is right. Cartel may actually be safe in jail. As you said, the same Politics Watch, Cartel may actually be safe in jail. But let me move on, man.
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
the
yeah.
freedom of movement, man. Let me talk about it.
Freedom of movement. So we all, maybe most of us, maybe not all of us, possibly would have heard about. I think they announced it about 8 months ago, sometime last year, around their
Mhm.
49th anniversary. The CARICOM. Anybody ever heard about CARICOM? Reese, you've heard about CARICOM before? They've
Of
been around
course.
for some time, a good time. You know, they, you know, they they announced that they want to move towards full freedom of movement. We already have some aspect of it, right? CARICOM, the Caribbean community, you know, they have their core principles that they operate on. And now they have given a somewhat a deadline that these countries that are part of the CARICOM need to give a definitive answer. Are you going to be a part of this free movement of people or not? That date is March 30th, 2024. Uh, I haven't heard a lot of details surrounding what that free movement of people thing is gonna look like at all. I
Yeah,
don't
man, I
know.
heard a lot about it.
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna look like. You know. But I, for one, really, I'm not against free movement of people. You know what I mean? I am not against free movement of people.
Why are you not against it?
I mean, coming from uh immigrant background, my father left his homeland to seek a better life, and it wasn't a free movement thing, but he had to leave, he had to migrate. I myself, I'm not in my homeland. I don't even really, and it depends who you talk to. Some people would say none of us of our complexion are in our homeland. But when I talk about my homeland, I'm talking about like Nevis, right? I now reside in the United States of America. And I have the opportunity to live in Nevis. I have the opportunity to live in America. I just feel like here in America, I have certain opportunities, you know, and I want to pursue those opportunities here in America that I might not necessarily see myself having in Nevis. I think it would be unfair for me in this position to even somewhat entertain the idea that people shouldn't be allowed to move freely when I am in a position where I left my land to seek, uh, air quotes, better education, air quotes, better standard of living, you know. And just based on that grounds, I would have to support the free movement of people in the Caribbean community. Because with that said, it is opportunity not only for those coming into my homeland, but people of my homeland to also go to other parts of the Caribbean. Take this for example. A great number of us take up tertiary education in the University of the West Indies. Uh, Maybe at one point in time, I remember a good amount of us went to Trinidad for training. You know, I've seen others go to different islands for healthcare. I know people who left here, not here, but left Nevis to go work elsewhere, work in other countries, and still are working in other countries. And we also have to bear in mind that there is some sort of free movement of people when it comes to skilled workers. So there has already been some aspect of this free movement. Yeah, there are some concerns. There are some concerns. But I think the benefits definitely outweigh those concerns. And I mean, That all me a say. The world belongs to everybody. Politics are what make us feel like, oh yeah, we got to put up borders and walls, you know. And a lot of people on here was against Donald Trump putting up a wall between Mexico and the United States of America, but yet still they're gonna ball out. No, we ain't want a free movement in the Caribbean. Hypocrisy at its best. So that's all me talk about. Big up yourself. What's your
All
thoughts
right.
on it?
Whew. I have just listened to you talk for about 4 minutes and it's pure hot air.
Oh my gosh.
So let me talk about it.
Yeah,
You said that you are pro freedom of movement. You
Yeah.
then made sure you said that you are not in your homeland, right?
Yes.
Did you have freedom of movement for you to go from your homeland to where you are currently?
I don't understand that question because
No,
technically,
do you feel like your movement was free?
I had to, yeah.
No, your movement was not free.
Why
Your
not?
movement was not free. And I'll
Why
tell you
not?
that your movement was not free. Because you
Why
were bound
not?
with a US passport. So you were bound with a US passport, right?
Mhm.
Had you not been bound with a US passport and you were bound with a single US passport, your movement would not be free. Because then you would have to go through certain steps for you to make it to where you are now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Including the visa process, the background check, the interview, blah, 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 all these extra steps.
Agreed.
So yes, your movement
My
was free
movement.
because of your special situation.
Okay.
Right? 95% of the other people don't have that.
Which
right?
is unfortunate.
I am not for freedom of movement because we don't know who moving, we are going left and going right. Right? So if this is something that they want to put in place, the steps they have to put in place before they ever make it to this thing. Right? Freedom of movement. That means you're telling me that a man could kill a man in one island and be in the other island tomorrow. Because he got freedom of movement, unlikely that he'll get catch. That mean if I got a problem with Johnny, I could call a man from Trinidad and Johnny and he could come deal with Johnny from a man just show up on the island, we know who he is, Johnny gone, he disappear again. Freedom of movement don't work, so I understand that you're looking at it as the opportunities for work and these things, but there still have to be a lot of things put in place before we move forward with freedom of movement. The current structure right now does not sit well. It does not sit well because you're telling me that anyone can migrate from A to B. You know that's not going to work. The other thing is, I don't know if you recall, back in the 60s at one point, this freedom of movement thing was actually discussed before. At that point, you had islands like Trinidad and Jamaica that was really real good. So let me tell you what happened now. Trinidad and Jamaica shut it down. Now, other countries have passed Trinidad and Jamaica. Now Trinidad and Jamaica suddenly wants freedom of movement. We're not going to do that. Because when you had an opportunity to assist, you chose not to. Now that you're at the bottom of the barrel, you want to help. We choose not to. So freedom of movement, no. Because essentially what you're going to see with freedom of movement, let's just use St. Kitts Nevis. Tomorrow, the Klansman gang could be in St. Kitts, and the 6th gang from Trinidad could be in Nevis. Just because of freedom of movement. We know who is who, they just pop in. Is that what we really want for our people? I don't think so.
Okay. So your basis of not allowing people to move around is the possibility of criminals moving from island to island. But before I rebut, I just wanna see what Marlene said, guys. Big up Marlene for she's here. So she said, when I hear a lot of people discuss the freedom of movement of people, I hear a lot of xenophobia. And I want to touch on xenophobia because we touch on xenophobia right here on this platform. So check it out. We had a guest. So let's do what we do, right? Real Talk Corner. Because it seems a great amount of people are concerned about Haitian moving about. I don't want to hear any concern about any other country or any island. Okay, Liddy, yes, others from the Caribbean countries should be able to migrate, but they should not get first preference in jobs. That is wrong. It should be citizen first, migrants after, especially our qualified citizen. I'm gonna touch that. Uh, Opening our borders will allow criminals to relocate to our islands. Allow criminals. That's Reese's point. Um, what due diligence would be done on these expats? And then Laurette says, on them grounds, I agree with Reese. Okay. And I don't know how many of us remember during the Clinton era, he signed NAFTA, not American Free Trade Agreement. This allowed a lot of people to the US, a lot of people to come to the US and work, and for Americans to work abroad. This contributed to the biggest economic expansion. So, freedom of movement can provide a stronger economy for the Caribbean, especially in these bad economic times. So, right now, Daddy Wow just step in. I want to play devil's advocate. What if you locals just ain't want to work? Do you still give them first preference? Okay, so I could battle that one there out in the comment section, eh? Battle out in the comment section.
Wow. You know
Um,
this, my brother.
criminals. Criminals are gonna do what criminals do. Break the law. They don't need free movement to move around. Would it be easier? Maybe. But maybe it might actually be harder, right? Because one of the things that I heard is once you come into the ports, you still have to present your passport as normal. You still have to be able, they still have to accept you. There are grounds in which they won't accept you, right? There are grounds in which your entrance to the country can be denied. I saw that's probably one of the only piece of information that I gathered from the free movement of people, right? Where are the jobs though? It might be larger countries to expand and fill the unemployment gaps, but what unemployment is not available? Okay then. Now here's the other thing though, right? We are also not looking at the possibility of having a larger population being able to open up economical expansion. Right now, Nevis is suffering because of the small population. A lot of businesses can't strive. You can't have a lot of diversity in the economy because you just don't have the population to support it, right? Also, there is not a lot of diverse thoughts. So one of the biggest problem I've seen in Nevis is once somebody do something and it's successful, everybody do it. With the idea that people go out there and they see things and they come home and they bring that innovation, those ideas into your country, and then open up new opportunities, new jobs. That could also happen just with a movement throughout the Caribbean, right? It would also give some people home, even our artists, Carissa, I know you love music, the chance to work with some really big names, right? To probably get their name out there because now they're able to just let me go to Trinidad and live for 2 years and maybe work. So everybody must suffer because of criminals. Well, we need to stand up against that. We need to stand up against criminals, right? And we can do that. One of the ways we could do that is we probably should establish a proper database. So when Reese bonks from here to there, they know who Reese is. And I think they're already going towards that, right? We're going to need a database of criminals. It's the same way how when you want a US visa, you got to bring your report, right? You got to bring your report. So it could also be a case of when you get when you want your first entrance into a country, you need to walk with a criminal report, and then we could set it up in the database. And once we get a little more advanced, them database just talk. So as soon as they swipe this, they don't say, "Bye, based on these crimes, we ain't really want your problems here." You check, and that might be unfortunate because a man might just have had a bad start in life and maybe want a different environment to change, right? But I do understand how we can get concerned about that, right? We could also look at healthcare. Healthcare in our island could improve. And with that said, it would be beneficial, right? If we could go to some of these other islands for healthcare and don't have to pay no foreign fees or whatever it is because we're acting as if we're nationals. I've known people who had to leave Nevis to go to X or Y and Z for healthcare. Gone to Jamaica, gone to Barbados, right? And what you said about me is true. I was born as a US citizen. I actually had to obtain my SKN citizenship. At the age of 12 is when I obtained that. I was like number 4,000 and something on the citizenship. By the way, if anybody want to find out how many passports done sell, right? Just check out how many citizenship the man done got. Because I look at my son's citizenship and he won there 100 and something thousand, and mine are 4,000, right? And I got mine when I was 12. But back, I digress. Back to what we're going to talk about here.
A lot of people.
Huh?
A lot of people ban.
A lot of people ban. A lot of people. A lot of people ban. Well, back to what I was saying. I was born outside of St. Kitts and Nevis. So yeah, I could move between the United States and St. Kitts and Nevis. And you said 95% of the people don't have the opportunity, and that is the problem. Free movement shouldn't just stop with St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean. St. Kitts and Nevis, we should probably be global citizens by now, right? Make trade easier, cut back on some of these tariffs, allow the economy to expand. Yeah, go ahead.
You believe in this global citizen thing? You believe that's a good idea?
Free movement. That's all I say. Let me get people. I ain't say carry coming free movement. The whole topic is free movement of people. Is it a problem?
I don't be that make it even worse. I only focus on the Caribbean part of it. Free movement of people, forget that. I am not a supporter of that at all. No, sir.
Yeah.
You want to tell me you want ISIS to come into Nevis?
Oh, my stomach. Hold on there.
Free movement.
With that premise, then the government would for sure not look at improving the healthcare in Nevis once they realize person can move freely for healthcare. And Tanya, what I could say to that is it mightn't be the same government all the time. Because maybe the Nevisians then brainwash, and by the time the others then come in, they realize we want better. Maybe the governments are made to change. I just don't know what happened in the Caribbean. People, I don't know. We need to change government more regularly.
Caribbean government don't really change after that.
They don't change, brother. It's like
Caribbean government don't change after that. And a lot of times when you see government change the Caribbean, is a one term and then they go back to their custom too. The JLP killing Jamaica. PLP get one term, JLP back again.
Back again. It's like take a break and then come back. You need a break.
Commercial break. Yeah.
It's sad. I'm sorry to laugh. It's really sad. It's sad. But no, Reese, honestly, you say if we want ISIS to come here, I think you're using some scare tactics because there's a lot of good that could come of it.
It is not scare tactics. It's reality. Is ISIS a real entity? Yes. Freedom of movement, they could move anywhere. So instead of now the US focusing on terrorism coming from one subsection of the globe, no, we can't track it. We just got to blow up every place because they're everywhere now. No, take it easy. Slow down there, buddy.
Well, maybe if these people had better opportunities, they wouldn't result to the kind of things what they
Now
do.
we're talking about freedom of movement, right? Would you like the Colombians to bring the cocaine to Nevis?
Yeah, they probably already are.
No, but I didn't ask it. But no, with freedom of movement, yo.
But I mean that's against the law. You,
No.
how is it? How would
Listen.
it be a lot easier because they can walk through the airports with cocaine?
No, we don't have
Well,
to walk to the
how?
airport with cocaine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna send a group and they're gonna
We
set up shop.
not say
Yeah,
we,
they
but
Colombia. Yeah, they're gonna set a group and they're gonna set up shop. You're gonna
okay,
see about 15 of them shop,
yeah.
and then out of nowhere you're gonna hear the US say, "Oh, we're going to blacklist because this is where it's coming through." And then you can say, "But how this happen? You never even see that money. Where that money live?" Freedom of movement.
So why you feel like they couldn't do it now? Why they
It's
can't
a
set
little
up
bit
shop
harder.
now?
No, they could still set up
But
shop,
it's not
but
that
no.
much harder. A
But at
Colombian
that
could
point, it is free. It is
a
totally free at
Colombian
that
a
point, right?
Colombian could go there and set up shop right now. It's that's not gonna the movement of the people, because remember we already have the trade agreements, in the CARICOM, and Colombia is not a part of the CARICOM. But I remember we already have the trade agreements. So products are already moving. So if a drugs are drugs, if them are coming in the shipment, we're talking about people. No, this is a people. We're not talking about products. We're talking about people. We're talking about individuals. We're talking about people. So unless they're gonna be mules and have it stuff up their rectum, wherever they don't do with it, patching the suitcase, why I see on these TV shows, you know what I mean? Unless they're
Watch a lot
doing
of TV.
something like that. But yeah. Unless they're doing something like that, then this doesn't apply. What you're talking about doesn't apply. We're talking about people. We're talking about doctors. We're talking about engineers, right? We're talking about scientists. We're talking about teachers. We're talking about nurses. We're talking about um, garbage men. We're talking about landscape workers. We're talking about customer service. We're talking about good citizens. Why we got to focus on all the negative when there are so many good people out there? Because the majority of the world, the majority of the people in the world are not bad. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
No, majority of people in the world ain't bad.
Yeah.
But the bad go mixing with the good. And the 10% of bad people are mixing with the 90% of good people. It's a major problem.
Reese, Reese, Reese. I know you don't eat a lot, right? But I enjoy different cuisines. Rotis, you know what I mean? I
You won't eat
enjoy.
that.
Well, you can eat some weird thing. Like you wanna go Antigua who eat mangoes.
No. Me gonna eat weird things.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. But me not eat no roti. Carry on.
Okay. Okay.
Nah, mix it with
Um,
that.
but I'm just saying, I like certain things, right? I like to try different cultures, and I think a free movement of people would allow me the opportunity to easily experience other cultures and become more diverse in other cultures. I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't see that as negative at all,
No,
right?
I think if you want to go to enjoy another culture or to go to another area, do it the right way. I agree with
Reese,
doing things the right way. If I have to apply for a visa to go to Africa, I would apply to the visa to go to Africa.
yeah,
And if
yeah.
that is the structure that is put in place for them to safeguard their land, I respect it. Me no want the
Safeguard
freedom of movement.
how?
Whatever
What do you
though.
think? You think safeguard is just so? Hold on.
But that
I
maybe that
know I know,
uh,
I know. Hold on. Because your namesake say Caribbean government is affronting. They stay loyal as that the party, the family back. So, they don't do what is right for the country. Okay, I understand what you're saying. That is a
okay.
good
Big up to you, sir.
analysis of that. Yeah,
Me
because
brethren, me
your
brethren.
namesake. But
Um, well, yeah, but that is my thing. Whatever the processes that has been put in place, I respect the people in process, and I just want to make sure that wherever I am, we got a process similar to where we gonna go
so
through the background checks and we want to check your medical records, so you don't want to make sure you got your shots and all these things before you come. We want to make sure you're not going to come to go bring in no virus and no disease that will wipe out me population.
yeah.
Yeah, no freedom
So
of movement business from here.
I mean, but like I said, there are still going to be criteria for you to enter. there's still gonna be criteria for you to enter. You
No, but
know,
that is
it's
the
just
problem.
no.
That is the problem.
There's gonna be
That should
criteria.
have been, but
It's
that
just,
should have been put out. So until that
but
is
that,
put out, I'm not going to speculate.
yeah.
We
But
what I'm doing right now is speculating.
you're talking about the CARICOM freedom of movement, which I said there haven't been a lot, because I think that would take some negotiation of what do we want to put on the table, and what do we do? Because one of the things they're looking at right now is their law, right? All the countries looking at the legal situation and how this is going to affect us. I really feel like a lot of them looking at their citizen by investment program, like, by if I get them a freedom of movement from the citizen investment program, by what is I can do? By
And really
freedom
and
of
truly,
movement,
that's a big thing to it, because now I no longer need to buy a passport from 2 different islands. I could just buy a passport from one island and move.
move
And
through,
I got, yeah,
move through. So now the
yeah,
lowest,
me
the
know
lowest
that.
one win. The lowest one
Yeah,
win.
me know that. I believe that everybody should buy. I believe that anybody who want to buy passport should buy both five. Buy one from St. Kitts, one from Dominica, one from Antigua, one from
The man only buy one passport anyway, Reese. People only buy one passport. It's just the best
Me
market
no
I
know
can win. And St.
me no
Kitts
know
and
me not to
Nevis
buy
is
a
up
passport.
there in the marketing. So I know this can benefit St. Kitts and Nevis.
Me not have to buy a passport, so me know.
When it come to the citizen by investment, I know St. Kitts and Nevis top the charts. And then you got Dominica coming in after. I'm talking about this region, eh? Yeah. So freedom of movement might actually benefit that program, because now, guess what? Like you say, they could use this one passport, the 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 mecca of the passport in the Caribbean, the big passport, the SKN passport, and go to Dominica and then places there, which they're not really worried about, eh? I think more so though, if they had freedom of movement globally, then the CBI dead. No, the
No, me
CBI
no want
dead.
to feel no movement globally. Me no want that. You know,
CBI dead,
that
dead,
for
dead,
sure.
dead,
That
dead.
for sure. Me no want. Me no want to feel no movement globally. You know what I mean? Me like me Chinese food. I don't want me Chinese. Want me Chinese that come cook the food enter the country legally. Yeah, me want to make sure they got a visa and so that they do the background check
Yeah,
and so.
yeah,
I mean like me
yeah,
Chinese. You know.
yeah, Shanti, you get 6 months, eh? You get 6 months right now with the freedom of movement thing. You're not getting no time serve. You still get 6 months.
Hey Marlene, if barbecue got to left where he did and touch another island, wherever he touched the island in problems, cause
Me don't know.
barbecue now play.
I say, boy.
You know who near barbecue, no?
What am I say? Some people going to say overthrow Haiti, and some people going to say liberate Haiti. You know,
What we
there's
want to
still
call it?
wherever you want to look at it.
Barbecue now play, and me, you know what I mean? Imagine barbecue and the team touch down on another island. It's turn into Dexter Daps. Touch the word from in another land. Yeah, it over.
Nah, bro, you're gonna got more regional forces, so that can be. It can be. So I mean, you gotta also remember, like, CARICOM also give us a collective voice on the world stage, eh? Cause small little St. Kitts and Nevis go up there and say one thing, but we ain't really say much. But when we got the whole region backing us now, all of us go up there united, we getting a little pull. So if we ain't saying on to this free, huh?
Your hope, right? You
Hope?
hope that you hope that when they speak, they speak for a collective, and then the individual are the individuals who heading the thing, speaking for what benefit them. Right? For example, you might see a country, for example, quote unquote, might say, we want this same-sex marriage business. Another country can say, yo, bond that. Well, who speak for which? No. Like what we doing? Another country might say, "Oh, Haiti in going through a serious civil unrest. We have to take in some Haitians." Another country will say, "Oh, we don't want any Haitians them."
All of them, man, boy. Right now, everybody pan Haiti. Poor Haiti can't catch a break. Poor Haiti can't catch a break because Haiti bang off the slave master, and they still gonna get punished for the rest of the thing. So they managed to turn them people against themselves. But that's a different discussion. Haiti can't take a
Shantini,
break.
Shanti, you're right. You know, the Haitians, the Haitians, they go through a lot of, they take a lot of licks. I know a dude who used to bring, he used to bring
But
Haitians to the VI.
we sign up
Charlie.
some good Haitians, you know. So I
No,
know
I know
nothing.
good Haitians.
Me not got no
I used to
problem
work
with
with
no
Haitians.
Haitians, King.
I used to work with
You
some
know what I
Haitians
mean?
when I used to work married.
I
Haitians
ain't
are
got no
hardworking,
problem with
hardworking
Haitians
people.
at all. People, we got this idea that we better than people and them kind of things. And
No,
it's
I
just
got nothing
they
against
just got
Haitian. Haitian,
they got a real unfortunate situation there in
very true.
Haiti, you know.
Very true.
And if we could help them out, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe there might be a status like, okay, we could take X amount of people every year, right? Yeah, it's free movement, but we could only take X amount of people because this is what we estimate our country could take in terms of population growth rate per year. So once we reach there, you can come in. And also, we want to be fair to all the other countries, them too. So just know, if you got a certain percentage of Haitian, a certain percentage of Jamaican, certain percentage of um, Guyanese, whatever the case may be, then you say, okay, we reach our quota. That's how America deal with their green card. You see what I'm saying? That's how America deal with their green card.
Now America deal with the green card. Shanti, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Big up yourself. The cup, right there, the cup.
yeah. Sorry, Reese.
Everything tastes better from the cup there, you know.
Drink your water. But
Everything
Reese,
tastes better from the cup there.
I had a
But
point and I lost it.
yeah, you know, you don't have no point. You
I
try
had a
defend the
point.
shoppiness.
By now,
But
it's real wrongs,
I
Reese.
I am against freedom of movement.
Hear him,
I feel that
my
if
brother.
I have to go someplace and I have to enter, if I have to file for a visa to enter, I can only enter for 10 days or whatever it is. I am going to adhere to the rules and guidelines put in place by said country. Me no want no freedom of movement.
But that got to be the rules, though.
Me no want run in nobody country, and me no want nobody run in mine.
That got
Me
to be
want
the
you
rules.
if you go come through the right way, me respect you.
You don't even want to live
Understand?
in your country. Why you not gonna live in your country then?
Homie,
Yeah.
and listen, again, I follow the right thing.
Me just ask you, why you not gonna live in your country?
No, me could live in my country.
Well, we can. But me
Yeah,
ask
me
you,
could
why
live in my
not?
country.
Why you not gonna
No,
live there then?
I have become domesticated to the American lifestyle.
Oh, okay. So nobody should be afforded the opportunity to become domesticated anywhere else.
Oh no, definitely. But what I am saying is do it the right way.
But the
I'm
right way
saying.
gonna be. But I'm saying the right way is going to be free. Free
No,
movement.
no, sir. We want things put in place. We want guidelines and we want processes put in place to ensure that when you enter, yeah, this is what going on. You ain't gonna enter and you name Billy Bob, and then when you go work for a job, you name John Thomas. No, sir. You come in at the
Oh,
false
Mr.
name
Buck.
and
So
say,
you
no.
go on as if you're gonna walk through you're gonna walk through the airport and not go through immigration. You still got to go through immigration, Reese.
No, you gonna go through everything, you know?
You still got to go through immigration, even with
No,
freedom of movement.
let me ask you a
Wait,
question.
okay, when you come back in the
Hold
United
on.
States of America, okay, go ahead.
Hold on. What's the process when somebody's deported to the Caribbean?
Deported?
Yeah.
Deported, you say, you know? Come in on the deported process. You tell me the process.
They should be turned over to law enforcement of the receiving country. A
Yeah,
file
tell
should
me.
be given with them, right? A file should be
Okay.
given with them. They get
Yeah.
processed. They get processed by the receiving country and then released into society.
Yeah.
Well, that person get released into society on Monday, and Wednesday they say, "Yo, I move in Sema. Well, I move in Antigua."
Yeah.
9 out of 10, 90% of the time, that information will be passed on to Antigua. Antigua do not know who they just received.
So we need
Antigua
to do
don't know
better.
who they just received.
You're just saying they need to do better. That's all. I did mention that we're gonna need a better database, and we could come up with ways of doing that.
Right?
I mean, you
So
could
it's
say,
just
like I say, if you're not in my database, you need to bring a criminal record for your first entrance. Whatever you want to do.
No, you see,
Oh,
you see that?
that's
That's like
not
you
free?
know, me don't want you to bring the
Okay.
criminal record.
Well,
I
what you
don't want you
want?
to have. I don't want you to touch the criminal record. Have it sent. I need sent 72 hours prior to your arrival.
Well, you know what happened during COVID, right? They were able to restrict people from entering the countries and so on. So if it's a restriction you need, is a restriction you get. I mean, technically, like I said, the only thing I gathered so far is that you're still gonna go through the immigration process, and the immigration still going to tell you you can't enter if they got on whatever grounds. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have those guidelines. But look at how many good could come of it. You only have focused on one sector of society, criminals.
That's a
When you
major
got so
sector.
many, when you got so many
I,
good
I,
people that could
there's a
help.
reason. There's a reason why you got so much court cases that call in Caribbean Islands because it's a major sector. It's a reason why police departments have so many different sections because it's a major sector. What are we talking about? No, I'm not saying that there's a lot of people involved in criminality, but it's a major part of it. We're not doing that. Imagine, right? Remember back in the day when we were younger, you had this thing called the greasy man. Remember the story of the greasy man?
I remember the greasy man, but I'm
Okay.
free of the greasy man.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
The greasy man was ever caught?
Yeah.
Okay. The greasy man
Yeah,
was caught. But let's
they
just
caught the greasy man. They caught the greasy man.
yeah, I don't remember if he was caught, but okay, let's
They
just say he
caught him. They
wasn't
caught
caught,
him. They
right?
caught him.
No,
Yeah.
I tell you, I don't remember. So let's just go back and say he wasn't caught. We got a greasy man situation going on. Then you hear
Yeah.
Antigua say, yo, we got a greasy man. Then Dominica
Yeah.
say, we got a greasy man. Say, look,
Yeah.
Antonio is the same man.
Yeah.
That's a major problem, Ira.
It might help us catch him because he entering now, so they possibly could start using database and seeing who entered the country in between that time frame when these crimes start, and if who now been to all these countries in between the same time frame, and they might able pinpointing who that person is.
A good lie until you
That's
circumstantial evidence.
no, that's
That case they
data.
fall apart.
That's
Yeah,
data
that case
because
they fall apart.
but no, I'm saying no, you could track this person because now
Yeah,
this
you track.
person is a person of interest, right? If you want to tell me Reese moved from Nevis in January, and in January Nevis had a spree of businesses open, right? This unknown guy opening these businesses, and then you realize now in March businesses opening in Antigua, right? And then in June, businesses opening in some other country, and then some other country. When they start to look at the people who've traveled to those countries, they could start to see who have traveled to all these countries in that short space of time, right? And how long have they been there? And honestly, we would have catch that person easier. We would have figured out who that person is. So that they get squashed. The argument
beating a case easy.
But Reese, I am not saying arrest the man because of that. I'm saying no, you could track that person, right? And you could set up a sting and look at him. He don't know he under investigation. It's called undercover. You know, you look at his home late night, see if he make any late movements, follow him without him knowing. I mean, you gotta be smart. Policemen supposed to be smart. The problem is they need to do some investigations, right? And they gotta use this. You're not supposed to be able to outsmart a detective. Sherlock Holmes was a brilliant man.
You say you're not supposed to be
fictional. Outsmart a detective.
You say you're not supposed to. Okay.
You know, when you start to look at analysts in the FBI and you look at people in the CIA, they get the brightest of the brightest for those high positions. It's smart people. So you need to connect that fine thing.
Is a reason a lot of man they beat the case, eh?
That one then or what? That one then
a
or
lot
what?
of man they beat the case for that.
We need another example. We need another example. We need another example, Reese. We need another example.
You see how long it take before they catch Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah, because he not been a move around. He not been a move
Okay.
around. He not been a move
No,
around.
he went cities. He went to different cities in the same state, but in
Yeah,
different cities.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
move around.
yeah,
So
yeah,
the things that, but
yeah.
freedom
But
movement business, but that. Marlene said there should be some sort of global database with facial recognition. Marlene, there is a program that
yeah,
use facial recognition. I cannot tell you that every place in the world has agreed to use it or has signed on to use it, but there's a program like
not
what you're
yet,
speaking of. I
not
know that
yet.
for a fact.
It's not yet. It's gonna be a thing.
I can tell you for a fact that the US and Canada use it for sure. Strong. But yeah, that is thing. So freedom of movement, me none of that. Me none of that. Not at all. Ima-
Yeah.
ima- Imagine Jeffrey Dahmer touching you. Oh, my skin hurt. What do you do?
I
Criminal
mean,
have more resources than government. That's a fact, Evan. Criminal got more resources and it's smart too.
criminal got more resources than our government.
Okay.
Which
You stop there.
governments?
How you think cartel case get quashed?
So you
Oh,
you you
oh, I'm
can't
not call,
you,
I'm not,
you
I'm not
can't
call
call
cartel
him on the
criminal. Okay.
criminal mind.
I hear you. I
But
know
you
you
know
say
you
that.
can't call him on a criminal. You can't call him on a convict, Reese. Oh my gosh. Not on this platform. The views and the opinions held by Ira and Reese are those of Ira and Reese only and does not reflect those of Real Entertainment Network. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
And Ira's opinion does not reflect the opinions of Reese opinions, and Reese opinions do not reflect those of Ira's opinion. Reese,
No, I would just say
Reese,
it was
Reese.
said that criminal have more resources than government, and I
And
agree.
I just want to
You know what
say
I
I
mean?
disagree. I just want to say I disagree because I know governments got resources. Resources, Reese.
You have to
You want
you
me
have
to
to
tell you what kind
understand.
of resources some
No,
governments
hold
have?
on, hold on, hold on.
Huh?
Government have resources and they have allocations. And some places where these resources are allocated, they cannot pull. Criminal got resources, and they only allocated for one thing, my guy. It's only one thing. Oh yes. Oh,
Reese,
oh yes.
Reese, Reese, Reese. Let me tell you something. I can say one person, Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar been a run Colombia, you know?
No, he had
To the
more
point
resources than he had more.
to,
No, he had
to,
more
to,
resources than Colombia, than the Colombian
to the
government.
to the point where Pablo Escobar became a minister of government in Colombia.
Yeah, he had more resources than the government.
Now, if we had
So you talk
freedom of
about.
movement, the DEA probably would have done come in a long time and shut that down. But the DEA, they lean on another government who had more resources, to come in and help. That's why you got things like NATO, right?
Wait, hold on. So you think another country should be allowed to come into your country? Should be allowed to go into another country?
I don't hear
You believe
people
that?
bawl. I don't hear
No, I
people
actually
bawl for it sometimes.
no. And you believe in that?
Wow.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the early 90s, right?
There is some sort of sovereignty that you need, right? I get that.
Hold on.
Me not talk about
You believe,
invasion, but I'm talking about being
but
able to
really and
come
truly,
in easier and work without going to jump through the bureaucracy of, oh, we need to get this done. Just a simple invitation, come through. We need your help. Okay, cool.
No. When they went for Pablo, it was an invasion. When they went for Pablo, it was an invasion.
It wasn't
We're
an
not going to stand here
invasion.
make it seem like it wasn't an invasion. It was an invasion. They went down there and they trashed the country to get one man. Now imagine if the US had decided to do that in the early 90s when they wanted Leonard. Just trash Sinkins for one man. Would that have made sense? We're looking for one man, so we just trash the whole island until we get this one man. That's literally what they did in Colombia. Trash the whole island until they get Pablo.
Luckily we had a little agreement with them and we just give him up.
We talking about
You know, that's what freedom of movement help with, right? Because it's an agreement now. We got agreements.
Well,
right?
that wasn't an agreement.
It was an
America
agreement where
play big.
they
No,
give
no.
Little Nut
America
up,
play big.
the expedited Little Nut.
America play big ball and say we're gonna cut off our resources to you. It's just like your mother say, if you don't pass all your classes, you can't watch TV. America play big ball. My mother used to do the same thing. Yo, if you come home and you don't pass much, no TV for the weekend, it's big ball. That's all it is.
I've never heard that before. I think you make
All
that
of a
one
sudden you
up.
never all of a sudden you never hear. The
You're
same thing
making
they
that
do
one
with
up.
same thing they do with Jamaica with Jim Brown's son.
But
Dodos.
that one there was an invasion.
Same
Cause
thing.
never had
And it was an
never had
invasion.
war down there. Never had war down there. A
Imagine
lot of
imagine
the
you have a
remember the
foreign
war?
entity.
Yeah,
You have a
outside
foreign
there.
entity shooting at locals.
No, that didn't
That is
happen.
BS.
That didn't happen, Reese. Reese,
What
boy,
do you
you
mean?
just bend
Come
history,
on,
boy.
Ira. That is how the Tivoli incursion was about. They were protecting him, and you had the Americans shooting against them. What do you mean?
The Americans did that. Yeah, I gotta read
So then,
about
how am
that.
I making it? How am I
Let
making
me
history? You just
let
said
me
the
read.
Americans did that.
No, I didn't know. No, that was
No, you
sarcasm.
don't.
Gosh,
No,
I
you
can't have a
don't. Right?
sarcasm with you.
Oh,
Cause you
this
can
guy.
take your use me sarcasm. Reese,
Be-
I understand, right? I understand.
I
You
got deny
really
your.
don't have no.
I got deny your visa. I got deny your visa.
No, I understand. You really don't have anything to say. Other than criminals. Well, I put in the criminals against the doctors, the teachers, all the good standing citizens that are going to move to the island, and help build up these countries.
Let me ask you a question. How much teacher you know to go up on leg, girl? No? Okay, let's wait for the teachers. I like that. I like that.
That must be. You want to always take a small subset and come with the large subset. Little girl, no. We're going to talk about
I am not
pedophilia
arguing you.
and all these things just because you don't want people to move around freely.
I was just saying, even see Loretta here say SKN couldn't get visas because of Leonard Fatem. I tell you, America throw some sanctions on them. America play big boss. We gonna cut off everything that we give you.
I wish we had free movement then. Yeah, because the government don't want to hand them over, right?
And that's how it be. Play big boss.
I just, well, all I said, let the people then move. Loretta, how you like it living in another country, in the United States of America? Do you wish
Loretta
more people
has done things the right way.
Do you think more people from your country should have the right to come here to America? And do you think they need to go through the rigmarole? But I got some friends, right, that I would love to see this place. I got some friends who are with some skills, right? But they gotta go through the right way, as you put it. But the right way is subjective, right? How the person who can stamp that paper they feel on the day, if they might get bite, right? If they not get a proper breakfast in the morning, they might deny you.
No, but you could appeal your denial, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
You could appeal your denial.
You're talking about resources, Reese. You don't take up so much money. Go down to Barbados. Go stay in a hotel. Buy flight. Got spending money. Buy food. Just so here, no. Try again. 1 time, no. 2 time, no. 3 time, no. 4 time, no. And you're doing it the right way. No real basis why. You're not a criminal. You're not nothing. You not get the opportunity. Everybody deserve an opportunity, Jed. Everybody deserve an opportunity. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying. We want to condemn people without giving them a chance. And too much in life, that's why people end up the way they are, because we force them in their circumstances. And circumstances make you who you are. So we need to give people opportunities. Like I tell you, I got a brethren, I don't beg the man by God, go Barbados. Try again. Because I want to spend some time up here with the man, let the man see the big world. But if he not had to go through that, guess what? He would have been, yeah. Even if the freedom of movement was something a little different, where they give right now where you could take a 6 months without going to apply for an expensive visa, wherever it is. Me at the age of 9 had to leave a criminal check. I don't know, I say leave. These sunglasses mashing me up because it's not Sunday. me and a criminal had to have a criminal check to enter. I mean, and that's fine, you know. If you go get a criminal background check, wherever you want, but make it a little easier. People move, you know. It's the best thing Loretta ever had. And Reese no want to go back home.
Loretta did it the right way.
He did it the
I
right
am
way, and
not.
I'm
I
saying the
am not
right way could
against
look
that.
different. I'm saying the right way could look a little. The right way could look a little. Right way could look a little different. Look at Daddy Wow. The man does go travel all over the place, right? You know,
And he's
easy
doing
be.
it how? It's-
You and this right way thing, Reese. I'm not arguing that people. This is what I'm saying. Most people are gonna follow the right way because most people are good standing citizens. Remember, you're the man who are talking about criminal, or no? Criminal or smuggling, eh? I'm talking about maybe the right way need to be revamped, and maybe the right way need to look a little different. Maybe we need to make the right way look a little different, and a little, like he said, ease up a little bit. We could take it in
So-
steps. We could make it a trial. We could
So
take it in
would you like to
steps.
see? Would you like to see visa free entry throughout the world? Would that make it better for you?
Throughout the world. Well, because St. Kitts and Nevis not got nothing going on other than the CBI. We really hold up the economy. A little tourism, yeah. Well, maybe the tourism might boom a little more, but people going all other places. I ain't gonna kind of hold off on the visa free thing for a while, eh? But maybe
You
at some point in
You don't want a visa free thing, but
Wait,
you
hold
want
on,
a
hold
visa.
on. That honestly is my own selfish and selfish thoughts, because I know CBI is very important to St. Kitts and Nevis, and if we had a visa-free world, that CBI program dead. But I'm gonna tell you, visa-free and global citizenship, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's
Visa-free
gonna
and
happen.
global.
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna
You-
happen.
you
It's
see
gonna
that coming?
happen. Yeah, I think so. I think it's something that as a race develops and advance, you know, right now this is the year 2024. By any catastrophic time reverting natural disaster, whatever it may be, maybe even human disaster like a nuclear war that put us back into prehistoric ages, you know, we can only advance. And a part of that advancement is it don't kind of start, eh? Because most people operate in regions. So you already got the Caribbean, we got one education system, you know, with CXC, then his troops. Like ain't a thing.
Every time I hear about that, will say something so vex you.
But it's a thing, Reese. It's a thing.
No,
It's something that we have.
No, it's a thing. It's
CXC,
a failed thing, but it's a thing.
CXC is not a failed thing.
Okay.
CXC is not a failed thing. The problem that you see with CXC is the subjects that are being offered in our country. That's the problem that you're seeing with CXC. But the same CAPE subject, the same CXC subject that other people are doing in their countries, because, like, for instance, my niece has to go to CFBC, right? hey, my niece have to go to CFBC. My niece has to go to CFBC. And because there are subjects in CFBC that she can't get in the sixth form college. And I've seen the curriculum, and there's lots of subjects out there that I wish we offered. And I know they're moving. They're moving. But anyway, let me call it tonight, because Tanya asked a hard question, eh?
This is Virgin Islands about to implement visa-free movement. I want to know the answer to too. Free movement with who? With Tatola? You gotta be the BVI.
No, they had a little bill. You remember that bill? The bill they're probably referring to. I don't know if the bill moved. You remember that bill?
They could say what they want, eh?
That bill is not going nowhere.
The lady's her name is Stacey Plaskett. She's the person that put forward that bill there. That they're not gonna pay, sir.
That ain't not going nowhere.
As much as she thinks yeah.
But she only put that up with face, boy, because she know that it not gonna way. I would like to
American
look up that bill
Amer-
there too.
American all that go through, eh? That American all that want to go through. Because America to tell you that the Virgin Islands is the gateway to the America to America. No, that's not going to. I mean, but big up to Stacey Plaskett. You know, usually
I say
representative
call
for
it
Congress
tonight.
or something like that. But representative for Congress. But yeah, that not going to buy.
Daddy won't say we shouldn't call it tonight.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about the cartel case? What you want to talk about, man?
The cartel case?
Man,
But we don't talk about
that
the cartel case tonight.
what you want to talk about? Hey, don't forget that called Drama 50 people. I go out
Boy,
and start support
if
our
you want
people.
to talk, actually, wow, it's 2 years ago that I introduced the bill there.
Yeah, I tell you. No mind that.
And you know which party there? You know what the tracker
Where the
say
same-
there?
The same place even when he start? Yeah, the same place when he start. The line.
Introduced.
That they not got no foot.
It was
That they not got no foot.
introduced, reported, referred to the host of committee.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that not gonna work. Yeah, Daddy, whoa. You know, we go. You know, big up yourself for joining. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks all those that share, tag somebody, however you do it. You know, we do appreciate when you do it. When you click the share button. If you do have any suggestions and any topic, don't be afraid to reach out to Reese or myself. Send us an email, you know, and let me grab the email address. So those who have a pen or a phone or whatever can get that email address and send us an email for some topics. You know, if there's anything you want to share. So the email is real.corner.facebookshow@gmail.com. So again, real.corner. Sorry. real.talk.corner@fbshow, you know, @gmail.com. And I'll let Reese. Reese, you in the chat now?
Yeah, I mean,
the Facebook chat?
Yeah, I mean, let me start it out.
Yeah,
But
send that,
yeah,
put
man.
that in the chat for us.
Daddy, next week, one of these weeks coming up, we're going to talk about Culturama. I want you to be here when we talk about Culturama.
Culturama. Right now,
The good,
VI Carnival looking like it.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
But we need to deal with our VI heritage. Anybody who deal with VI at all. When last you touch the VI, I ain't hear you say you've been to the VI in a while.
No, it's been a long time since I've been down there.
But this year ain't look like a bad year you got to the VI. And you know a week that they be?
Yeah.
That's our week off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Daddy, wow, them man don't call you?
Because that's a big, the week looking good, eh? But remember, I tell her that is how we need to set up New Year's soon, but nobody now listen to me. Set up the thing a week party, and the queen, I think they got the Prince and Princess show. I think it's on the 13th, and then on the 20th they got the Queen show, and then the last week a beer party.
Beer party, boy.
And the thing about it, you know, all of them, the lineup that you send, that they free, you know, the whole thing free.
Yeah, in the village. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
that's
thing
the steep
free.
part about it. Yeah, that's the good part about it. Yeah.
You're touching the village free, you know. So you could go party, go party, and then the good thing too is after every village, they got a bunch of events going on. You could there till about 8 o'clock in the morning.
In Nevis, them want you pay everything. 50 everything, eh? $50 for everything, this Culturama. Everything costs $50.
Yeah, we don't see that coming.
Yeah, $50 for every show.
And if
kids get half price.
If me touch on the Saturday night, we got to stay home and we got to stay home, go sleep. And probably go chat Sunday morning. We will never go on a Queen show, not me.
You not go Queen show?
Yeah.
I'm getting a queen show. Me getting a mad laugh with me queen. You know what I mean?
That good, yo. Me go home, they go sleep. Try to wake up about 12 o'clock and see if anybody else sell food on the road. Me not getting no queen show. A party, me want a party. Not watch woman walk up on the stage.
Mm-hmm. So you go.
And then down in the bullpen, the music can't start because you can't start till Queen shut down because it's too loud. And nobody can play in the village until Queen shut down. Stupid is that. Stupid is that. One party.
I know I'm gonna talk about the greatest summer lime, like I say, you know, everybody make sure you sign up and buy your tickets and go home.
If I want summer lime,
who are not,
if they want summer lime, let them call me. Me got lime tree in my backyard. During summer, I get lime.
Those who are not from Nevis, I am inviting you to the greatest summer lime, Culturama 50. You can't miss it. Anyway, Reese, let me shut it down because I want some people gear up themselves, take a break, get their drink for the topics, get something to eat. You know, just vibes yourself. Cause the topics up next. With Alan and Jason. Yeah, man. With Alan and Jason. But I still say people should be able to move freely. And I don't care what we say. You know. Xenophobia is real.
No, me not against me not against nobody. Me against the impact that could happen. That's all I'm against. That's all I'm against. No freedom of movement business on.
Is that a remedy for like my congestion and so? I will because the sinuses don't be mash me up, man.
Get yourself together.
Yeah, right?
Man, it's a remedy. Say it's a remedy. Everyone says it's a remedy.
Oh, well, I can try that. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for that.
Yeah, man. Whatever. It's been a good night, everybody. It's been a good night.
Yeah. Hello.
What's that green thing over there?
Yes,
It's my drone.
That's your drone. All right, Reese. What you say? We out.
Man, we are blessed.
Is that a tiger?
Where?
Right there.
We on the corner, man. We on the corner, man. We on the corner, man. With that real talk. We on the corner, man. With that real talk.
Lotus blossom don't cry without any sun. Lotus blossom don't cry without any sun. Lotus blossom don't cry without any sun. Lotus blossom don't cry.
Real talk.